Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The first words she said that morning weren't good morning. They were, I spent the night at his place. It was 7:12 a.m. I remember the exact time because the coffee machine had just beeped, announcing the start of a normal day that died the moment those words hit the air. My fingers froze mid-motion, the steam from my cup clouding my glasses. I looked up at her. She stood by the kitchen counter, hair tied back, wearing the same gray sweater she'd left in last night. Her voice didn't crack. Her eyes didn't dart. It wasn't a confession. It was a statement, cold, deliberate, final. What? I whispered. She looked at me then. Really looked. As if she'd rehearsed this moment and was now studying how I'd crumble. I spent the night at his place, she repeated, quieter this time. I thought you should know before I go to work. For a moment my mind refused to connect the words to reality. I thought maybe she meant a friend, a colleague, anyone else. But the tremor in her lip told me exactly who she meant. Daniel. Daniel, my oldest friend. The one who'd helped us move into this house. The one who made her laugh at dinners when I couldn't. The room tilted. I could hear the hum of the refrigerator, the faint buzz of her phone on the counter, the sound of something deep inside me tearing itself apart. I set the coffee down before my shaking hands spilled it. You're joking. I'm not. Why? She sighed, closing her eyes briefly as if the question exhausted her. Because I needed to feel something again, Mark. Something real. Real. The word burned. I wanted to shout, to slam the cup, to demand an explanation, but all that came out was a whisper. And last night? He gave you that? She didn't answer. Her silence was an answer all its own. The rest of the day bled into itself. I went to work but couldn't remember the drive there. Couldn't recall the faces of coworkers or the sound of my own voice. I replayed her words again and again, trying to find a version that didn't destroy everything. By noon I texted her, we need to talk tonight. No reply. That night, the house smelled faintly of her perfume. She hadn't come home yet. I sat in the dark living room, listening to the clock's tick echo through the silence. I tried to imagine her walking in, apologizing, saying she made a mistake, that it was confusion, loneliness, anything but what it was. The front door clicked open at 9:47. She entered quietly, setting her purse down like a stranger visiting a home that wasn't hers anymore. You didn't answer my message, I said, voice low. I saw it. Then why? I didn't know what to say. The honesty of that hurt more than any lie could have. I looked at her, really looked. The woman I'd shared 10 years with. The woman whose laugh used to be the safest sound in the world. How long? She hesitated. 3 months. The air left my lungs. 3 months. She nodded once. It started after that fight we had about the promotion. I felt like you stopped seeing me. I stopped seeing you? My voice rose despite the weight in my chest. You were the one pulling away. Late nights, unanswered calls, excuses. Tears welled in her eyes, but she didn't let them fall. You're right. I should have told you sooner. But by the time I realized what I'd done, it was already too late. Don't, I said sharply. Don't you dare say you love me. She froze. The silence that followed was deafening. Then she said the one thing that shattered the last fragile thread holding me to her. I do love you, Mark. Just not the way I used to. I spent the next few days existing in fragments. I went to work, made dinner, sat on the couch, but everything was muted. Colors dulled. Sounds blurred. She stayed in the guest room, avoiding my gaze, as if the weight of her guilt might drag her under if she looked too long. Every time I saw her phone light up, I wondered if it was him. Daniel. The friend who once toasted to our anniversary with that wide grin, who said, you two are proof love still exists. The irony made me sick. I didn't confront him right away. I needed time to think, to hurt, to let the reality settle. But one night, I found his message on her phone. I miss your scent on my pillow. That was it. That was the moment something inside me snapped quietly, without rage or tears, just clarity. I drove to his apartment the next morning. The door was slightly ajar when he opened it, eyes widening in shock. Mark. Hey man, what are you? I'm not here to fight, I interrupted. My voice didn't even sound like mine. I just came to say thank you. His confusion flickered. Thank you. Yes. I stepped closer. for showing me who she really is, for freeing me from the illusion that love means loyalty. You did what I couldn't. You ended a lie I kept pretending was real." He looked ashamed, mouth opening to speak, but I turned and walked away before he could form the words. That evening when I came home, she was waiting in the living room. Her eyes were red, mascara smeared. "Where were you?" "With Daniel." Her breath caught. "What did you do?" "Nothing you haven't already done." She stared at me, horrified. "Mark, please. Tell me you didn't hurt him." I shook my head. "No. I told him the truth. And now I'll tell you mine." I stepped closer, close enough to see the tears trembling on her lashes. "You killed us, not with betrayal but with indifference. You stopped fighting for us long before you ever went to him." She began to cry. "I'm sorry." "I believe you," I said quietly. "But sorry doesn't rebuild what you burned." I picked up my keys, looked at the woman I once would have done anything for, and said the words that ended our marriage. "I'm letting you go, not because I hate you, but because I finally love myself enough to stop begging to be chosen." She broke down as I walked out, but I didn't turn back. It's been 6 months now. The house is quieter, emptier but somehow lighter. Sometimes I still wake up reaching for her side of the bed, only to find it cold. And sometimes in the half-light of dawn, I hear her voice echo in my head. "I spent the night at his place." But instead of pain I feel something else now. Peace. Because some endings don't need forgiveness. They just need truth.